Hey, beautiful soul. How are you? I hope that you are well and that you and your loved ones are well. This is Crystal Ariana here. Hi. Hope that you're doing well in whatever time space this message finds you. But yeah, as like I said before on my Facebook, I wanted to come out with a little video in response to everything that's going on right now, because I feel that we're in a place where we need to connect and we need that intimacy, that support, that love available even more than ever. Even during this quarantine, even during this space of learning new things in our life, of completely applying and adapting ourselves in new ways amongst all of this social distancing and all that. So I want to speak to that tonight, and I want to share with you some really exciting news. But I know that for many of us, we've been in this collective energy. We've been feeling the intensity increasing this past week as we've, ramped up into the equinox energy. And, right now the world is kind of in a panic due to this coronavirus. And at the same time, this does not mean that we need to act or show up in fear in this crisis, but really seeing this equinox energy assisting us in this cleansing process, and really in this reset of humanity that we're all in, this pause, this vortex of energy, this vortex meaning a void, an empty womb of creation. So this isn't just the end. Guys, this void, like I said a few days ago, isn't just lack or scarcity. This void isn't just where something is wrong, it's where all things are birthed, right? This sacred space in between things. So no, loves, it is not the end. This is the beginning, and it's a choice. This void is your new beginning of opportunity. What do you choose to co-create at this time? Which path? Kind of connects back to my dream back in January and February that I was sharing with you guys a lot in the podcast and in previous updates. But what path do you choose? Do you trust and take the path to where everything is being provided? To where you trust and you integrate even what is the ultimate test of being in our power, of tapping into our quantum hearts? Right? Charging our energy field with the alchemy to shift the ways of the ways, right? How the collective events are happening. Are we anchored in this space and co-creating, or are we falling into the fear, right? Are we falling into the collective vibration, right? Because only in this stillness, only in our own anchored heart presence do we find love, right? Infinite love. Right? In the chaos, right, we find a lot of repetitive loops and dramas and illusions, right? And so no, you don't have to drink the collective script, right? You don't have to drink the Kool-Aid right now. You don't have to take or receive the collective fear that's being given to you, because it's time for us, loves. It's time for us to write a new story. And what better time, as we're moving out of this Pisces energy through the 0 point of the equinox, right? As above, so below. And we're today in this fiery Aries energy, this spark of new life, new light, new life cracking open, even amongst the circumstances, even amongst what's going on right now. And so I felt like today really was the day. I felt like I could breathe this morning with the energies. I feel like the collective is moving out of this emotional energy and atmosphere and stepping into creation and stepping more deeper into co-creation. And so I felt this is a perfect time to share this video with you, because this equinox is officially marking this new beginning out of a lot of the fallen, imbalanced powers, out of the underbelly of our world. And so it's really asking us, as we step into Aries season, for those leaders, those way showers, those lovers, those creators, those light warriors who are ready, those that are in servicing or offering or stepping deeper into their gifts, deeper into your soul gifts, exploring yourself. Those in leadership positions are going to be experiencing, the next waves of awakening throughout our collective. And we need those risers, those leaders to rise, those risers, those leaders to rise, because we're in such a really potent and powerful opportunity and time for deeper connection, for tapping into the mystery, into what we don't know, into deeper conversations of growth and intimacy. Crazy stuff is happening in the world of right relationship with self, in the world of conscious relationships with others. And everything that's happening is making us return back home, to pause. It's all making us dive into ourselves instead of, project or always be in the, keeping ourselves distracted with all the busy stuff, right? It's making us pause and go within, to face our own anger, to face our own pain, to connect and unite within these fragments, right? That want to return home, that need attention and acknowledgement. And all of this, darkness, I'll say, all of this rather wildness, right? All of this uncertainty, this untamed energy, right? The wounded, the sacrificial, the hidden, the distorted, all these different inner worlds are coming up to be seen, right? To be seen in 0 point, in heart-anchored energy, right? The light of your awareness, right? The full spectrum of all of your senses in your nervous system and in your present body awareness, right? The place of co-creation, right? So truly, this is a massive purge, yes, but this is an opportunity, loves, for us to reset, a coming together, a supporting each other and sharing with each other in new ways that we wouldn't normally open up. Because I feel like we are creating new worlds, loves. Like those who are in heart frequency, who are allowing themselves to step into that vulnerability, into that bravery of stepping up, of showing up, of opening up. I bet deep down inside that you've been preparing for this for a long time, that some of you have been preparing for this very moment of what's happening in our collective for lifetimes. That you are literally on the edge, you're teetering, you're surrendering, you're receiving, you're taking the leap of trusting the greater force of life. You're hearing the call of Divine Mother, right? Divine feminine energy that's anchored in present time, in the physical body, right? The macro that's anchored in the micro. The energetic that's anchored in the physical. So for many of us, we just need to follow through with what our own inner medicine is, what our own unique path is forward, and actualize it and share it and embody it within and without. What you've come here on a soul level to do on this physical earth, you are being called into. Especially if you've been receiving or felt called to my messages at any point, we're all being inspired to step up in some way. And so if you feel called to these messages, know that this is coming up at such a certain time with all the historical changes that are all meeting at a head and currently taking place. More than ever, love, this is a time to show up. So whatever that means for you, and if you need to discover it, you need a safe place in order to explore it. So for all of us, it's time to come together, no matter where we're at on our journey or on our ascension phase, in different processes, different phases, different parts of our journey. It's time to come together through the fear. Because fear is only a sign that we, are in the process of integration. Fear is only the sign that the shadow is present. And for some, we're seeing how many are, when that shadow is present, how they're going back to their old ways, right? How people are even reverting back to, the place that their fears are triggered, right? Even those that are, struggling and grasping and buying mounds of toilet paper, right? Reverting back to their caveman, right, tendencies. It's all this fear is in some way related to our fear of death and the death of the ego. And this is why we must look deeper within, right? Deeper into this greater whole and even greater agenda or greater purpose, right? Opportunity, rather, of this entire coronavirus and what's happening around the world and in our own country, and ask our own questions, to not take the official stories as gospel, but to realize on a greater level that for whatever reason, the world is being traumatized. Now there's light and dark forces that are coming together in all of this. So it is, again, what each own anchored heart, will, body, and being, soul chooses, right, in real time. That matters most. As well as how we're meeting all the old undigested life force, all of our neuroses and all of our traumas, right? All of our baggage, how we're meeting that in present time, right? In real in real heart presence, right? Because right now, it's not just about lockdown and being locked into our homes that's, freaking a lot of people out. I feel it's all of the stored trauma in our nervous systems and all of our fear-based coping mechanisms that are coming out of the closet to be seen, to be acknowledged, to be met. So again, what is the opportunity? It's about anchoring it all back home, right, into the present moment where you can create. So this is overall such a tremendous opportunity for the entire planet to awaken, to unite, to connect within and without, and to know the whole. So just remember that all of this is bringing up past trauma to be seen in the light of your awareness. So please don't believe everything that you think, everything that's going on in the media, what other people are saying. Trust your own inner authority. See life for what it is right in front of you, meaning respond to what is instead of reacting, right, to what could be or what might be happening. Because we can't co-create from presence, from anchored presence, if we're always trying to fix or control or resist, right? So seeing from the whole is knowing that the situation is purposeful, right? What good can come from this? And when the bad stuff shows up, be gentle. Give yourself a little extra room to dance in the unknown and realize, you're likely experiencing a lot more than just shock and crisis. You're also, give yourself space for all the other things that are coming up for you right now. All the experiences, unresolved memories, traumas that are coming up, betrayals that are coming up, abandonment issues that are coming up, and allow it to return back to you, back to anchored presence. Because you can feel it. You can feel it in your bones, when the ego voice is going off, right? You feel anxious. You feel like everything's wrong and, and you can't exactly put your finger on it. And so allowing yourself to reflect on that, to pull yourself back into anchored presence. And again, reflecting isn't always the answer, right? It doesn't make everything magically better, but it gives you the space in between, right? That magical, alchemical, empty vortex or void or womb space to birth the new, if you will. Because it can give you that space in between, can give you the space to see what you need to, right? It can give you the space to make a new choice. So even the other night, as I felt like for example, the restaurants and the gyms and all the unprecedented things that are happening, all the centers that are closing across the nation, and I sat in my, quarantine little space in my house, in my room, and I felt this kind of overwhelming claustrophobic sense of just not wanting to be anywhere that I was. And it wasn't anything that was particularly going on, and so in my life that made me feel this way beyond everything happening in the collective, and I felt as soon as I grounded in anchored energy, it immediately dissolved. And so I returned it back to source. So a lot of the energies that I was feeling wasn't necessarily my own, but it was within the collective. However, I felt like, it reminded me of all the difficult stuff, all the memories that came up for me. This collective fear was overwhelmingly bringing up stuff, angry, aggressive, violent behavior that I was dealing with as a child, or, just overall that feeling of wanting that time and those hours to be over so I could go back into my safe place and essentially hide. And of course, that's my own story. You have yours too. But whoever you are, I hope you can connect with your heart, with your warrior spirit, that part of you that can take in that nurturing inner child and receive it back home. And realize that this warrior strength, this heart vulnerability, this morphing, heart-bending power of our hearts, right, when we're in present anchored energy and we're co-creating, is really the most powerful thing. Our response, how we respond with our energy, right? And it doesn't come from any brute force, right? The warrior's strength doesn't come from any weapon, yet it's from discerning what is fear, right? Allowing the distortions of our fear to pass through without gripping onto it. And anchoring ourselves in co-creative energy, right? The present multidimensional moment, right? Which is open beyond just our boxes, our categories, our labels, our expectations, our identity, right? Which is infinite. So I feel like we all perhaps need a little bit of this warrior, this inner fire, right? To connect us beyond our minds, right? To not just believe everything that we think, right? To trust and to lead from our hearts. Even in the fear, even in the breakdown, even in the storm, know that every storm runs out of rain, right? And that the world is going to be going through a deep collapsing. There's some things that may get worse before it gets better. The world is in such a deep humbling right now, where we have no option but to pause, to stop, to reflect, to go within, to allow ourselves a new opportunity, to anchor into ourselves and know what truly matters. What are we valuing? What are we prioritizing in our lives? What is inorganic versus what's truly real and organic? Right? Because all the superficial stuff is really being shown right now. We're seeing where we need to stop chasing, where we're avoiding our own inner authority, where we keep abandoning ourselves, where we keep overdoing and disassociating and bypassing and trying to keep ourselves busy, right? Versus anchoring within and co-creating without. Where are we looking for love outside of ourselves? Because this is a space of no more hiding, guys. We're here to really, truly connect in a bigger way. And that's why I feel like I'm doing this videos, because no more hiding. I feel all of us are channels, and we are here to discover and explore together and to collaborate. Even in the circumstances, this is actually the most important and vital and crucial time for us all to come together. Because raw authenticity, the truth of who we are when it matters most, not leading the life from false masks, not trying to avoid ego heartbreak and dance around all the BS, right? All the false light, false positivity, and right, all the spiritual masks, and truly taking them off. No more worshiping, no more, worshiping gurus and all that. I feel deeply in my soul that I am called to share this message with you, because I know in my soul that's what I'm here to do. And so I'm here, and I'm called. This is a clarion call to those who have been listening or are listening, and they're ready to connect and join and learn deeper about yourselves and know what it is you are here to do, essentially. right? To align and explore yourself and know yourself on a deeper level in a place that's totally safe and judgment free. Because I feel like more than ever, we need grounded connection. We need collaboration and intimate, conscious conversations more than ever. We need to come together with all the different kinds of values and loves in our life, and we need to confront our deeper truths with a level, with a maturity, with an inner heart knowing of what matters, with aligning with our deeper values, with being around the frequencies and the people that are supporting what world we are creating from within and without. And, at the same time, we need to accept and embrace those that are not choosing that. There's so many that are fearing death so much that they're hoarding and taking, they're pushing down the heads of others to try to, to prop themselves up, We're seeing those that are just in a lot of shock. We're seeing those that are escaping through sarcasm or humor, or those that are just running, right? And just choosing denial, just bypassing. We're seeing those that are acting out of this, this scrambling, this desperation, this doomsday prepper style, this place of scarcity and fear. And in the same moment and breath, we're seeing those that are allowing this death and trusting that there's something much greater and anchoring it on a daily basis, what they are here to do, those new patterns, those new adjustments, and how we're adapting to where we can co-create more from a place of embodied love, where we are operating ourselves from a place of coherence versus siphoning our energy out, where we are coming from heart-centered leadership. So again, which path do you choose? There's so many ways to initiate, to face, to meet this raw confrontation of what's happening in our world, and more importantly, what it's bringing up inside and how we're integrating it, right? Because all the timelines of dominating and imbalanced power are falling. And that's really what this whole Saturn-Pluto conjunction that I've been speaking about since January 12th, really since last September, if you go back in previous energy updates, and then the first and second and third podcast that came out, you'll hear about it more. But really, we just had Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto exact. Let's see, Jupiter's exact in Mars today. So we have so much going on this year that is speaking to the imbalanced powers that are falling and how we are rising in our embodied truth on a somatic body level. So in other words, the stuff is really getting real. There's no more rehearsal. And all of this energy is happening over the equinox, which is pretty remarkable. All this contraction and expansion, this vortex, this highly magnetic, highly imprintable time, right? This balance of as above and so below. This creative tension between the opposites, or the this magical space in between things is what this is all speaking to. So the equinoxes and the solstices, for example, are kind of like magical markers or doorways to your inner and outer life, right? So how we can come into alignment with our whole self, showing you as above, within and without, as above, so below, within and without. And so this powerful energy that is helping us begin this new era, which I've been talking about since the Pisces new moon, about 6 weeks ago, is happening also between these 4 incredible cleansing supermoons that we've got going on. So there's so much resetting and cleansing energy that's happening, and I'm seeing it as old powers that are coming in more desperate than ever, that are also in the process of crumbling. And this is all relating to the Saturn-Pluto conjunction stuff, what Jupiter's doing, and all this lining up in this Capricorn stellium energy, where all these planets are meeting in Capricorn, is definitely bringing so much energy of how we're living our Eros energy, our divine feminine energy, anchored in our present body, anchored in our divine masculine energy. Right? So all this stuff is coming up as death anxiety for the collective as we're taking our neuroses and grounding them into Christos Sophionic energy, or into the embodiment of the masculine and feminine and inner to outer union. And so, yes, all of this stuff coming up is catalyzing waves of awakenings. So that means those that are facing the death of the ego, right? And facing the death of the ego without even knowing that there's a new world awaiting, if you can allow yourself to sacredly undo and not make something wrong in order to let go of the old, right? Because there is a new earth waiting for you, this path unfolding for you as you walk upon it, if you trust that everything is what you need and you're being provided for, right? And this is where you trust and you follow through, right? You lead from your heart and you listen to it, even as the old is collapsing, right? Because it's time to drink your own medicine, right? Embrace the bitter raw, just as it is, and still be open to allowing yourself to be the gift, to be the difference. Where you, where each of us are living our own wisdom, our own embodied love as the gift, all the way, and we're collaborating, we're living as it, we're sharing it, right? And knowing that it's usually at the cost of losing all of our old identity, no longer identifying, right? Objective love, transactional love, right? Real love is usually at the cost and the death of the ego, right? So it's time to turn inward and stop fearing the death of the old, right? For us to anchor in our present light, right? Our heart, our physical body, where you can access the unknown, access the alchemical regenerative power. So in a lot of ways, what's happening right now, death is needed. Don't wish the coronavirus or whatever's happening in the government or the bigger agendas or, powers that be that are imbalanced. Don't wish it to be different. Death is needed. This undoing is needed just as much as the light. So I feel like, this is in the same resonance of how we fear death in Mother Nature, right? The wildness in us all, the mysterious unknown, right? So realizing that even in this, what we always fear, this space in between things, this death, this empty void, right? Just like we fear the unknown, this death space is also the most magical part about you. It's where you can stand in the chaos and still be still within, where you can pause and go into the void, knowing the void isn't just the end. It's the beginning of what we don't know. And this is the space that we need to allow ourselves to rest in more often and be around those who are doing the same, right? Because the most regenerative, sustainable, powerful force inside of you just wants to birth the new. And it's all waiting for you in present time, for you to recognize when you do. So, again, returning back home to what truly matters at this time is so crucial. And for us healers, lovers, and creators, us leaders, to fully connect, to rise, for your voice to be heard. Which path do you choose, love or fear? Now, when I say love or fear, I don't mean just choosing one and ignoring the other. I mean the true alchemy and self-agency of knowing thyself and coming from the non-dual whole, right? Fully integrated, present, anchored, being the walking God force that you are, like I've said in previous updates, no longer operating from duality, but responding from the anchored love and in truth that is present and alive inside of you in every moment. In other words, you can hold both love and fear. You can hold the pole of both love and fear at the same time. So love doesn't mean dismissing the fear, right? It doesn't mean repressing the fear. Love means facing the fear. And it means adventuring in yourself and exploring it, investigating, inquiring, doing your research, sharing with others, allowing ourselves to be seen, showing up, right? Feeling in your own nervous system when you're fully present. What is intuition? What is your soul's voice? And being around those that can help you with this. What is your soul's voice? What is your heart versus what's the collective fear? What are you focused on creating in this new earth? Making that decision, not getting sucked into the collapsing timelines, keeping yourself moving forward with your service, living your truth, embodying your offering. Because love, we need you. There really isn't, time doesn't matter, but there's no more time to waste. In other words, it's time to be in the body more than ever. To embody present heart frequency, 0 point energy, to embody love. Like, now is the time to shine your light and share your voice, drink your own medicine, and collaborate. And I know on so many levels around the world, so many of us are stepping up, where I'm watching it happen, and like we are doing it. And so many of us, in your soul, you've had enough practice. We're now on the court. It's no longer dress rehearsal. Guys, yes, dear lover, dear creator, dear way shower, dear light warrior, you are being called. I feel like we are all being called to step into our presence, into our being, into our embodied power. We are so needed. This massive cleansing that we're in, this massive awakening, this reset, this losing of the old, this collapsing of all the old, right? That's allowing us to step into the new. We need the support. We need the space and the reminder and the reflection and the frequencies that allow us to tune into love, right? So we're not clinging to the old. And I know for many of us, life seems so fluid still. I know I've been talking about this in the last couple energy updates, but life seems so fluid. There's so many timelines playing out at once. So you must choose your path. The path of collective fear, where the media is broadcasting, only smaller parts of a much bigger picture. Or the other, where you're co-creating from love. Knowing that there's a deep cleansing happening on Gaia. Knowing that there's a purification and changes happening in your body. Understanding that Gaia is going through such a massive transition. It's only going to get more and more real. It's only going to get more obvious, right? How we're transforming from the body up, body level up, from the ground up, from source level up, right? And so with this, massive purge that we're all in, realize that there's no accidents. We're all here, right? You're connected to this message. You're resonating because it's sharing frequencies, right? And everything is a frequency, just showing us the physics of life and the universe in action, right? So let's keep this in mind. Let's all keep this in mind, that I chose to be here. You've chosen to be here during this time exactly as you are, just as you are, in the timing that you are. And when we're able to see from present co-creation from the place of heart frequency, we're no longer lost in the old dominator structures. We're no longer trying to earn and prove our way from the outside in. We're no longer trying to get love outside of ourselves. We're allowing all the government structures, all the old family structures, the political structures, all the old ways that have been collapsing for too long, and allowing it to take space and transform and reset into something new that we're co-creating, that we're choosing. So I feel like this is what we're all been waiting for. Humanity is calling forward our leaders, right? To share their wisdom, to explore themselves, to know themselves. It's creating so much opportunity on our planet for those that are listening. So it's time, I feel, for us to look at the opportunities. What are we creating from this, loves? We are the dreamers of the new dream. We are not the thinkers, the rehashers of old stories. So can we allow this to turn out way better than we've ever imagined, and come into a whole new way of being in reality with different kinds of, whatever your journey is, wherever you're at in your mission, your phases, your process, to align with what it is that we're here to do. Because this is not the end. This is a reset. This is the beginning, right? You came here for this. You are ready. Trust yourself. Like, your sovereign divinity anchored in heart presence, along with taking care of your health in the physical domain and the physical world, is really key right now. And supporting others who are doing the same and speaking up and out. Learning what it is your medicine is. Fully drinking it and sharing it. So I feel for all of us that are in this uncertainty, taking care of our bodies is really important. Our mental, our physical, our spiritual health, because I know you felt it. I know all of us are feeling it as we're being called to isolate and socially distance, which really means a real lack of connection usually, right? But our beingness, our anchored present energy, our sensual bodied energy is so vital and so key. So I feel like this space where we need to come together is more important than it's ever been. Especially in a space where we can't even, social distancing. Well, touch is so healing. Touch is actually connected to immune health, right? Our immune system health. And so like intimate conversation, connection, and exchange is so important more than ever as we're heading into whatever the world is heading into right now. So I feel like, again, this doesn't mean, that we should be hiding, not shining. Like, this is the time where we need to step up. Our shining or our not shining and our hiding is actually hurting. It's not helping you. It's not helping the world. And despite all of what's happening, this is the clarion call to come together. Like my friend posted earlier this week, I shared my friend Alex. He was saying as the darkness darkens, as the darkness gets deeper in the world, so must our light turn up, right? As the dark deepens, so must our light and understanding our own light. And what a great time to deepen in our own light, to deepen in our own practices, our voice, our offering, our truth, right? So just know that you are not alone. Like, I want you to know, anyone who's out there who's struggling, who's in pain, please trust, hear this call. Keep your heart and your head open. This too will pass. Ground and anchor every day, morning and night, as much as you can periodically throughout the day, in present heart energy. It'll get easier the more you show up in it. The more you show up, the more you see that you're not separate. Every moment you are anchored. Every moment you're present, you're anchored in divine energy. You're not separate from the divine. So allowing yourself to anchor in this, to feel the exchange of energy in the back of your own heart chakra, connected as divine, receiving and sending it back to source, knowing you are sovereign, you are safe, you are loved. So even in the breakdown, it's so critical for us to be anchored and to take care of our bodies. Even as all the old stuff, all the old fears, the old beliefs, the old patterns are coming up and asking to be shed, right? To be held and integrated. So please trust in your unfolding and take care of your immune system. Maybe some tips to boost immune health, maybe, and that maybe look like different things, right, for you. But just eating really healthy foods. Mushrooms are really important right now if you have access to mushrooms, like eating reishi, cordyceps, astragalus, chaga, maitake, turkey tail, or whatever viral eating fungals that you can buy or harvest locally. Allowing yourself to really relax your nervous system, allowing yourself to take baths, make sure you're getting enough minerals. Eat algae, plant proteins of any kind, take plant adaptogens of any kind. Really minimize all the media stuff, right? Minimize all the fear mongering, anything that makes you feel like you're over anxious. right? You're in an anxious nervous system response versus where you feel like a breath of fresh air, right? And know the facts, right? Facts help minimize the fear. I'll just say this for those that are looking for an antidote or a little boost of their immune system. Eating lemons on a daily basis is amazing for so many reasons beyond what I can say in this video. Elderberry is very powerful, and you can get it quite easily at the grocery store, hopefully at the grocery store near you, if not a health food store if that's near you. Also, raw honey mixed with lemon is very powerful, antiviral as well. But if you already are sick, if you are looking for a natural solution that instantly knocks out the virus the first time, look up fire cider. Fire cider, I will post a little picture of this tonic so that way you can look up the fire cider. And if you need some places to buy it online that's still available, let me know if you can't find any, but it will completely heal the virus the first time. But know the facts. You know, the people who are in the most danger with this virus really are those with autoimmune issues, those with respiratory issues, and the elderly. And my heart goes out to all those that are in distress and that are in pain, or those that we've loved, that we've lost. My heart goes out to everyone. But there is a message here to allow yourself to embrace, to allow yourself to forgive, to allow yourself to step into the present moment. And above all, to not stress out your nervous system when you don't need to. Like, loves, don't panic. You know, if you're called to these messages, know deep down you've been preparing for this for lifetimes. You know, what if all what's happening is just, you know, the crystallization, the process, the chrysalis your soul has been asking for. You know, where we have no other choice but to pause, to turn within, and to transform. You know, and a lot of us have a lot of different, you know, angles to see what's happening. You know, do we know? I don't know. You know, someone might say, well, yeah, Crystal, that's real nice and everything, but how do I not stress out my nervous system when, you know, I'm worried that they're, that a rollout of martial law is in effect, or that we're going to be shutting down our streets or our roadways and quarantining, or that we're going to be putting on more restrictions. I mean, again, I don't know. All I know in my soul is that love has already won, and that it's up for us to anchor it in the physical and in each own embodied present heart. And our own personal will is a choice, you know, and we may just need to be tested to show up deeper in this creation process, even in the fear. So let's connect together. Let's explore what we don't know. Let's be open to what we don't know. I mean, who knows what what possibilities we could bring from this as those that are anchored and ready step into creating the new earth that we are all here to show up as and to show up in. You know, who knows what all of this is about? Are there parts of the government that are aiming to, you know, put us through the mark of the beast and chip us and force vaccinate us and all these, you know, collective fears? Okay, well, even in the worst, right? Even if whatever theory, whatever's happening, right? To not get wrapped up into, there's so many different timelines happening, guys, depending on what frequency. And so even in the worst, opening as it, there's still an opportunity. Even amongst all the deconstruction of the old, what if what's happening has to do with, I don't know, ending human trafficking, right? Or something much bigger. What if we could create something much bigger that we don't know? And all I'll say is I don't know. All I do know is that we can create and dance in present love. And when we do, we can morph and bend reality. So what do you choose? Every single being is needed on deck right now. And that's also why I'm going to be beginning this new group where we can come together in an entirely new way. Because for me, this is what's happening on the planet right now is about us stepping deeper into our hearts. For me, it's about stepping deeper into how I'm standing in my heart fire, offerings, how I'm fully supporting on the ground, on the court with others on a daily basis, because I feel like that's where we need the most support, where I'm able to be only around those that are also in the process of co-creating their world and fully standing in their hearts. Because yes, there's so many timelines in effect. What path we're choosing, what frequencies we tune into, who we choose to connect with, all really truly matters right now. So what do you choose? Because it's all going to take us standing in our own truth, trusting our own unique way, fully embodying, recognizing our own gifts, and yet collaborating, exchanging, voicing, supporting, receiving, witnessing, dancing together as an awakening whole. We got to stop hiding, and we got to step into the new and deeper ways that our soul is calling for. You know, because when something takes us to our depth, forces us to pause and reflect, right? That depth reaches back up to you, right? So I will say this, all I do know is that our daily practices and keeping our energetic hygiene up, taking care of our physical bodies, and staying in conscious connection, intimacy, and conversation with each other right now is really vital for our planet. So I don't know a lot, but I do know that, and a message is coming through for those that, that don't know. Like, it's okay to not know. It's okay to open yourself up to the mystery. This is what's coming through right now. Like, it's okay to be in the space in between and not know, and still be gentle. Even when you need to release, even when you need to let go, even when you're resisting, surrendering, leading, crying, screaming, whatever's going on, to trust, to give yourself what it is that you need, to go straight to love, to go right to it, to anchor in heart presence into a new way of being or seeing something new, and to be around those who are doing the same. That and eating really, hopefully, organic veggies, getting enough sleep, enough rest, grounding as much as possible throughout the day, through Earth's natural cleansing and clearing energy. Whenever you're anxious in your head, dropping into your body, you can call in unconditional light. You can call in unconditional love in any moment, higher heart love. You can use all different kinds of grounding meditations, even something simple as a violet flame meditation, right? To allow that darkness to shift just through the light of your own awareness, right? So all practices on a daily basis, highly encouraged, right? Even just simple breaths in the moment, right, can meet any fight or flight response and alchemize it into present, multidimensional, co-creative source energy, right, to where it's up to you how you intend and will it, where it goes, right? So what are those practices on a daily basis that are returning you back to your body, your Eros energy, right? This greater divine feminine energy that's truly deepening on our planet, right, as the masculine energy arises, right? What are those practices that are allowing you to come back into being at home, into that state of ease and grace, right? This effortless, grounded, co-creative state of being, right? Where you follow through and you trust your own way. Because, yes, dear anchors of our new earth, it is time. You are the bringers of a new dawn. And we can't do it without allowing ourselves to trust our own journey, to take care of our bodies, right? And taking care of our bodies also means taking care of our minds. You know, it's showing us where we must trust this journey, this death, this birth, this work, this moment, this unknown, this feeling, this message, you know, of why I'm even sitting here in front of you. Because I know with the fire in my belly, and I know I've said this before, that we are all here to return to the cosmic consciousness inside our own bodies, physically, on this earth, and to heal the karmic lineages of our families. That we are meant to demonstrate higher heart frequency and show our children these embodied truths as they ripple out into humanity. So is it scary to Trust yourself to be in your own kundalini, if you will, your own weird process, and to trust embracing who you are, nakedly you, as the most important offering as you could give in the world. Yeah. And that may feel really scary, to fully turn towards what lights you up, right? Even when something seems insurmountable, to trust, to open, to sit, to feel, to cry, to show up anyway. Like I've said before in other updates, to dance in the rain anyway. To witness the depth of this upside down world, right? The 180 flip of everything inside out, and have it set fire to your cause, because, loves, we are doing it. We are the way itself. As we make our way, we are the way showers, the healers, the gatekeepers. We are creating from the whole, right? So taking care of yourself obviously means taking care of you mentally. Of course, coming into our own stillness, a calm mind is always easier to see our greater body reflection, right? To see our mirror of ourselves in the universe, right? So clearing your mind, clearing your body, clearing space in your house, right? It's all the same. Chaos and unstructured energy thrives in unorganized places. And the more we're grounded and anchored in the present moment, the less we're in our neuroses, right? All of the feedback of the ego and our history and karmic stuff and baggage, right? So anchoring more in our present energy also means responding to what is instead of reacting to what could be, right? So clearing your mental house also is part of the alchemical process, right? As we are all purging, right, the shadow of the global stage, as the world is really purging its entire, what it's showing the world, right? The surface level truth versus the real truth. It's really time for us to do the same, right? To bring all of our own distortions out into light, to make love, to breathe, to dance, to stay in our soma, stay in our body, to not leave our body, to stay in our parasympathetic nervous system, right? Meaning just simply be in your body, the present anchored moment, and stop trying to resist and control what can't be controlled. To see from the whole and know that it's all purposeful. What good can you see? Because we are all co-creating. And if we choose, we are becoming stronger as we listen to our hearts, because it's time to stop feeding what is the collective fear and collapsing into it. We need to face these fears in this time of turmoil. How can we develop the courage, the naked spine, right, to face our deepest fears and see it for what it is? See all the fear porn, the panic buying, the deeper, agenda of the powers that be that are imbalanced in the world. And how can we see the gift? How can we open our nervous system even in the fear and develop a conscious relationship too, and even practice the space in between, right? A meditation with it all. How can we be in the breakdown and still be open to a new way of being? Because with the world where it's at collectively, this whole karmic PTSD that is being faced on a much bigger level, this illusion of separation, this era to where we're discovering that we are also divine, right? It's so important to be keeping ourselves around the right people, around the right frequencies, and staying grounded. More than I feel anything else. To be truly grounded and anchored in our bodies is going to give us access to so much deeper wisdom that we need to be applying, of how we can truly be of service to others, being the gift, because it's time, loves, it's time to come together. The darkness and all the unknown is just going deeper as the world deepens. And again, as the darkness and the unknown opens up, so must our own inner light, and it'll illuminate our path forward. So we just need to trust. Again, deepen into our body practices to be grounded as much as we can into what truly matters. And know that there's no need to fear if we're truly rooted in heart frequency. So allowing ourselves to increase our gratitude, to go serve someone, to show up, to take care of an elderly person, bring them something they need. Whatever it is, it's not time to waste on more negativity and fueled drama and theories that are supporting fear-mongering and all the other stuff that everyone might be saying about what's going on right now. And it's time to focus on how this is all bringing you foundational new growth. Like, what new foundations do you wish to birth? Because this is the time to create opportunities for the next coming decades, guys. This is the tower moment of everything falling and the new beginnings, and we need to clear out the fear, and we need to step into the moment. Because all the stuff that's in the past, all the karmic stuff, all the heavy stuff is behind us. What matters is how we're co-creating in the moment as new paths are emerging and unfolding. So everything that we've learned, we are now here. It's now to be put into use, loves. And so we're here to do it. So please share this message if any of this resonated with you, if you feel like anyone else needs to hear it. Now is the time to release what no longer serves and to truly step into shining our light, being the gift, and allowing ourselves to be seen, to allow ourselves to be as we are and to step into it, worthy and whole. And again, it's key to surround yourself with the right frequencies and the right people. There's just too much fear and hysteria circulating in the collective consciousness that is siphoning our energy, right? So if we're coming from the place of love has already won, there are two timelines that you can choose to live on, right? One based in fear and one based in love. Of course, the choice is always yours. Choose love, though. It's up to you, but choose love. Face the fear, face the death, face the ego death. You can develop the courage that you need, the spine that you need to go directly into the presence and the coherence of your heart. You can surrender the mind and be willing to die in the moment. Or in other words, hand over the keys to something other than the controlling mind, right? And for this to happen, we need to trust life. We need to realize that we are co-creators. We are the master key of it all. And that fear really is one of the most debilitating weapons that can be used against our own immune systems. So when we no longer are coming from a place of fearing what's to come or fearing death or fearing what's in the future, and we're fully present to what is, we're no longer controlled by fear. We are free from a place of zero to operate as love, knowing and appreciating life, knowing that every exhale is like a death, right? And that is a part of taking in every breath and new life and rebirth. For life truly is a much deeper gift, and we are truly much more powerful alchemists and sorcerers than we've been led to believe for thousands of years. So, this is all coming down to how we see life in our perspective and how we show up in it, energetically to the physical. So this is about leaning into and playing with the contrast of the whole, of duality, of light and dark, the tension between both. Discovering ourselves, our own wholeness without judgment, without thought, but practices and experiences that allow us to get in tune with this alchemical, mysterious, all-knowing wisdom, this universal life force that is inside of us all, this source Kundalini that is asking to be brought into or anchored into our physical bodies. And again, for those that are very much in loss or feeling the death or mourning or just processing, receiving, allowing death, my heart goes out to every soul, every being, everyone that's hurting. And two, there's space for love, there's space for the new. And at the same time, let's look at the whole. There's something so much bigger that is happening, just beyond a virus or false powers of the world stage being taken down, or a manufactured virus, or whatever it is, right? And I'm not coming from some higher or lower place. I'm not coming from some guru perspective. I'm not coming, I'm coming from just a raw and grounded, real perspective of not letting powers that be that are imbalanced or controlled false powers suck or siphon my energy. I'm coming from my absolute inability to even give the tiniest crap about something that only serves to energetically take and rape and drain my life force. Drain your life force, because it's only when we stop running, we stop chasing, we stop with the fear mongering, we get out of our heads, the neurosis, right? We stop taking, embracing, and perpetuating ill-minded thought patterns, and we instead anchor, because it's all in our anchored present level, heart frequency level interpretation. It's all how we're receiving and interpreting and connecting the events of what's happening in our lives that's determining our direction, right? So everything is neutral, and until we give it meaning, that is how we're creating. That is how we're co-creating. Are we coming from the place that things are wrong or things shouldn't be as they are, so that we think that we're disconnected from it? Are we resisting and opposing and suffering? Or are we anchored in present energy? Are we co-creating with life instead of rejecting it? Right? So can we face change? Because all of this change, all of this facing death is also the process of returning back home, back to source. Because we can respond in a way where we're no longer separate from the divine, even when facing ego death. So again, reality bends in anchored present heart energy. This is why it's so important for us to ground daily and to be around those certain frequencies that are encouraging us and supporting us to be in alignment with this, with our present multidimensional source energy, right? Because reality bends for you as you open as source and fully let in the divine and embody divine as you in the body, right? As multidimensional source. This is how you co-create. This is how you talk to the universe in a language it already is and speaks. This is how you build new worlds. And so again, what is it that you choose? Love or fear? Because overall, I feel like we all must stop feeding the fear, and this is where the world is at right now. And there will be a ripple effect, right? Obviously, but it all depends on you, right? How far this is going, right? It all depends on us, how much we can stay grounded in our own mirror, right? Our own mirror with the universe, and recognize, when the scarcity or neurosis kicks in, when the survival hive mind kicks in, and drop back into our bodies and choose on a daily basis. You don't have to allow your source energy to be pulled. You don't have to allow the inorganic powers that be on this earth to feed off your fear and steal your life force. So again, this is a choice, an opportunity. We are in a global reset, right? I feel like this is a huge reset for humanity as a whole. We're at 0 point for us to pause, rest, and to reflect, knowing we are creating our own reality in every moment. So even as the world stage is stopping, grinding to a halt, again, this pause is helping us reflect within. And this is what the Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto conjunction, all of this stuff with Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto happening this year, it's a total system reset from body level up, right? From ground level up, right? If we are going to restructure the new and erect our divine king energy, our divine masculine energy, and rise on this planet, we have to come from source. We have to be in alignment with our own eros, with the divine feminine. And so a total system reset founded at the level of the human body. So I feel like this is also speaking to great mother energy, basically putting us back into our bodies, forcing us out of our heads, so we can stop destroying our planet, so we can stop thinking that our minds are so much bigger or so much superior, than our bodies. because the Saturn-Pluto conjunction and all this stuff with Jupiter, this expansion, we're really being taken back home to what's really important, what really matters. Again, anchored, present energy that witnesses and is connected to divine feminine energy so it can receive, flow, allow conscious connection, intimacy, truth. Again, I know if you're listening to all this, you've probably been feeling this for quite a long time. This energy needs to be led through our hearts first. I know I've said that in several updates throughout the last, several months or a year and a half, that we are needing to listen to our bodies first, to come through the body, our receptive heart, and be alive and unapologetic in our own nakedness and our own truth and our own path, our unique way forward, just as we are, whole and naked, worthy, right? Worthy, aligned in our own values, also open, fertile, right? Even as the distortions fall, even as the imbalanced powers fall, the narcissistic tendencies, the neurosis of the mind falls, the fragments of our soul return back into present life force energy, right? So that we can create with it. Because inner to outer, we are the whole, right? The inner creates the outer. It's not, overpowering the body with the mind. This is no more about, grasping for love outside of us. No more chasing artificial fulfillment. No more trampling Mother Earth, in other words. No more abandoning ourselves or leaving our own bodies in order to try to get or earn something. And the more we anchor in this divine masculine energy, our own inner alignment, truth, the integrity of wisdom embodied, love embodied, right? Our own truth. We know what to engage with and what not to engage with. And from erecting our own inner divine masculine energy, our own inner hero, we have the greater capacity to choose love, right? To build a new relationship with the feminine, the unknown, our own Eros energy, right? Because how we respond to the unknown and what we don't know, how we respond to what is mysterious to the mind, right? How we respond to what is uncertain, right? Is all illuminating your relationship with the feminine, within and without. So when we're in the dark, when we're in the unknown, do we grasp in fear? Or do we anchor in our bodies, right? And turn on our own light, our own Eros energy, right? Do we trust our own Eros, our own energetic prowess, our being, our magic, our ability, our alchemical energy to create? I felt it's too funny that the mandatory stay-at-home order that was issued across the nation the other day happened right as the North Node happened. Made its transit in Cancer. So, really, the marking of the divine feminine coming back home, a rebalancing of Mother Earth, aligning with her true boundaries, us returning back to what is organic, what is natural, what is truth, from a body level on up process, right? So all the old programs, the old structures of our family, the old structures of our economy, our politics, environmental stuff, all the old ways that have run their courses in our world, right? All those old imbalanced power structures that are dissolving from the ground up, is all spiraling out right now. I mean, and it's causing a lot of so many future multiple timelines to come out. So again, timelines are all still very fluid, but what do you choose? There's a message here that you can choose what timeline you enter into. This energy, especially coming in through the next few weeks, is going to be really, really powerful. A greater change, I feel, is coming. And it's time to rise. It's time to be seen. It's time to be a pillar of light for our families, our communities. It's time to stay in your heart, where you know God as you, your sovereign self, where you trust your soul, where you receive what it is that you need. In other words, where we shine, where we stop hiding, because we truly need each other right now. And this is the opportunity that you've been waiting for. It's not happening to you, it's all happening for you. There are people out there that need your voice. Again, you can't stay hiding anymore. What is in your soul and what is it asking from you? Are you ready? There are people out there who need your support, who need your offering, your voice, your gift. So, like I've been saying in previous updates, I fully know, I trust that you are here. You are here to show up, and you are already whole. You are already loved. You are already sovereign. You are already safe. You have the ability to respond to what is instead of reacting to what could be. You can align with the present moment in your heart. You can know what you're co-creating. So follow through and anchor the new pattern, love. Choose wisely the stories that you're telling yourself. Be around those that can help you reflect and recognize, come from the place where you're already whole, you're already loved, where you're supported by the divine in the process, right? Getting clear with your own core level soul voice, right? Your deeper authenticity and truth, being radically honest. It may feel like, whatever isn't love, like I said in the last couple updates, whatever isn't organic, whatever isn't divine order, whatever isn't unity consciousness, whatever isn't sustainable, will need to be seen, acknowledged, integrated, and cleared on a physical, nervous system, endocrine, fascia, body level, right? Even in your tissues. So dropping into your body morning and night is so powerful. And of course, if there's anyone, should you need someone to talk to or get support from, I am here for you. You can message me anytime, 24 hours a day. Just know that you're not alone. We have an entire community of members who are on the same spiritual path that you can connect with, that you can talk to, that you can share things that you wouldn't normally share with others in a completely safe space that's here to support you. So I feel all of us, we need to come together. And so that's why I've decided to open up a new inner circle. And if you've been in the inner circle in the past, you'll know that I put it on the back burner for the last several months because I had some other projects. But with everything happening on the planet right now, I feel like everything else kind of needs to be dropped, and I need to focus on building a stronger community online and throughout the planet with a few other key leaders. And I'm so excited for some of the things coming out in the future. But I feel like overall, the greater call, the greater solution is for us to come together, for us to connect in conscious communication, connection, for us to not lose our intimacy and ability to really share on a deeper level and explore what's going on from a much bigger soul level perspective. Because again, these are the days that we've been preparing for. And this is the time when we need to begin consciously connecting, voicing, exchanging, exploring ourselves openly in a safe place, and collaborating, offering, exploring our services, exploring our inner gifts, drinking our own medicine with each other. And so that's why I've created the inner circle. And mainly the inner circle is built around three things: authenticity, empathy, and embodied, anchored love. And overall, this is going to help you do three main things: turn all fear and anxiety or nervous system stuff, past trauma, into present level activation, into what you are co-creating in present time, right? And that's anchored moment to moment, changes day to day, which is why it's so powerful and so necessary and needed to be anchored in our practices on a daily basis and to be in our bodies. So that way we can transmute the fear into co-creative present energy, right? And two, for us to come together and resonate with those like-minded people who are on the same frequencies and path, right? Maybe not with the same gifts. Obviously, we're all different. We're all here for different reasons. We all have different gifts. We all have our own unique path forward, but we all are here coming together with those that are in the same process of discovering what they're really here on this planet to do. And three, to turn on, if you will, and activate the power that's already within you. because I feel so many of us are coming into this reclamation, this reclaiming of our own essence, of our own beingness. So I'll break that down. Again, authenticity, what does that mean? This means that, this is not a group of fake spiritual people or false light. This is not a group, with spiritual gurus or leaders that are here to, approve of you or to nurse your wounds or nurse repetitive drama loops or help you escape what's really grounded and what's really real in present time. So in other words, authenticity is really important to us. This is not some worshiping, ego guru platform, like you might see in other places. Here you are your own guru. You're here to return back home. And so all of our collaborators, readers, channels, teachers here, just like myself, I'm here, we are here to walk next to you, not for you, right? And so authenticity meaning allowing you to return back home to you and to your own soul's voice and what is truly authentic for you and why you're here and what you're here to do on this planet. And then 2, empathy. Let's just break this down really quick. What I mean by empathy is the ability to embrace and see others as they are, and they're part of the process and they're part of the path, and fully love and embrace and accept them in a completely free judgment zone outside of ego, right? Where everyone shares vulnerably, asks questions, whatever questions, dumb questions, smart questions, doesn't matter, where we're just open just as we are and we show up. Even if you don't think you're creative or know how to channel or know anything about astrology or tarot or numerology or energy healing, it doesn't matter. Whatever you know, whatever you don't know, it doesn't matter. This is the place to explore, to discover you. This is just a safe place to adventure what you don't know about yourself, or to explore more about what you want to know, and empower your hidden gifts, to discover on a soul level what you're really here to do. And the last key and our deepest virtues of what we're doing here is to embody love, right? To anchor present Christed love in our physical bodies and to be the gift, to be the change. And so again, this is a space to return back home to you, to co-create in present energy so that you can manifest what you're embodying from within to without. So overall, the deeper value here of those that are embodying the gift and demonstrating and not just telling you from their head is that there's no spiritual smokescreens here. There's no one here trying to profit off of you, right? There's really just a space that's allowing you to connect with your own mirror, right? Your own genuine heart presence, and for you to receive the support that you need to feel, to create, to see, to step into what is beyond what you thought, right? What you thought you could or thought was possible. A place where, we're not leading from the mind, we're leading from the heart. And so overall benefits, why join as a member? Overall, this is a safe space, right? For you to explore, to adventure, to connect, to learn, without pretense, without judgment, without ego, without anyone, comparing. Everyone is here to support you and you finding what you're here to do and your gifts, as well as you just simply getting the daily assistance and support that you need on a practical level to ground and to be in a healthy environment inside and outside your nervous system. So again, in the group, benefits are no one's trying to be spiritual here. We're all just people showing up and returning back home to ourselves. I've watched, I will say this, the tarot industry change a lot over the last decade as tarot has become more mainstream. And so much of the tarot industry has turned into a lot of worshiping templates, a lot of bypassing in fantasy land to where there is not the anchored process of those returning back home to themselves. And so you're not going to find any of that here. This is just a place where you return back to you, where you feel safe to not have to know something or be spiritual in order to access the insanely wild and infinite deep wisdom that's already inside of you, right? To where you can access this intuitive accuracy and power that's already within you. Because I feel like if you're called to this message, it's time for you to see the deeper you and why you're really here, and that's what we're here for. And it doesn't matter whatever you're going through, share it. Maybe you're seeing 222 all day or all week or all month and you want to know what that means and you post about it. Or you want to have a really good womb regenerative exercise that you can do on a daily basis to help you ease into birthing something new or allowing something to open your heart, right? Or let in, receive what it is that you want. Maybe you want a cord cutting ritual, a soul retrieval exercise, or get more clarity on a certain shadow process, clear different layers of your auric field. Maybe you just want to learn how to ground and different ways to ground in your body. It could be literally anything that you're learning. I don't talk about my background very much because I'm not doing a lot of one-on-one work this last year because I've kind of switched gears into creating some products for everyone. However, I will answer all questions in the group. I have a background in various different energy healing methods, acupuncture, traditional Chinese medicine, and anything from chakra balancing to somatic therapy to Reiki to several other healing modalities, or things like astrology, numerology, tarot, original Egyptian rites, shamanic rites, hermetic magic, so much more. Just ask me a question, or perhaps someone in the community might know as well, which is also why we are doing this, is so that everyone can come together and just share. And so, okay, if you want to know how to become a member, just basically follow these steps. So basically, let me answer this. Why a paid membership? Why am I doing a paid membership? Well, because we have contributors, we have teachers that we need to take care of, and we pay them so that way we can give you the best experience. Now, our membership used to be $67 a month, but now I'm dropping everything to only $11.11 a month. And so $11.11 a month covers all the expenses so that everyone can join, even when everyone is hunkering down and tightening their belts on what really matters most. So all you need is a Facebook profile, and of course it comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee. So there's nothing to risk, there's everything to gain. There's an entire soul family and community that is waiting for you to step out and help you shine. So if you're interested in becoming a member, just click the link below this video, or you can also visit thesecretinnercircle.com. And to end this video, I just want to say thank you so much for those who have been listening and following and receiving and reflecting and sharing so much of their journey over the last couple of years with me. I love you so much, and we are here and we are rising together. We are doing it together. And to end this video, I also want to, in the state of the world and where everything's at, I just want to take a moment and reflect and receive and appreciate all those that are doing so much in the wake of what's happening on our planet, and even on a ground level. Those that are in the service industry, those that are working in the grocery stores, those that are in healthcare, those truckers that are delivering hundreds of thousands of items overnight, every night, day after day, in and out. I know everyone is tired. My heart goes out to all of you. I'm so thankful and I appreciate you, and I just want to put this message out there because I feel like when you really do need to be reminded sometimes of how much others are doing a lot of work in the world to show up, and I love you so much. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. So again, what path are you creating? What do you choose to create? Are you choosing love or fear? What reality are you anchoring in present time? What matters to you in real time? What are you standing for? And are you following it all the way through? Are you being the gift? Are you being your offering to humanity right now? So just trust. Know that you're not alone. You are loved, you are supported, and you can be brave in your powerful vulnerability as you rise as the greatest force and strength on this planet, because it's time for us. love. It's time for us to rise up in love and to stand, because we're all under the same sky and we are rising through this together. So with compassion and determination, I'm going to sign off. I love you guys. Go ahead, click on the link below, and I will see you on the other side. I love you guys.